Do you ever go to bed feeling totally drained and uninspired, only to wake up feeling the exact same way? What if you could flip a switch and wake up tomorrow with an unstoppable drive to take on your day? It might sound like a fantasy, but it's not. There's a simple psychological shift that can make this happen, creating a powerful momentum that just keeps feeding itself. You're probably caught in a frustrating cycle. You wait for motivation to strike before you take action, but that lightning bolt of inspiration almost never comes. So you stay stuck, feeling guilty, and telling yourself, I'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow just brings the same old lack of drive. The problem isn't you. You're not lazy or broken. The problem is you've been sold a lie about how motivation actually works. In this video, I'm going to show you the simple psychological shift that ends this cycle for good. We're not going to find your motivation. We're going to build it from the ground up, starting tonight. Let's be honest for a second. How many of you feel like you're not living up to your full potential? You have goals, you have dreams, but the energy to chase them feels like a flickering candle, easily blown out by a bad day, a little stress, or just that general feeling of, I don't feel like it. We've all been taught to think of motivation as this magical force that comes from somewhere outside ourselves. We watch movies about athletes and entrepreneurs who seem to have a bottomless well of inspiration. We read books that tell us to find our passion, assuming that once we do, we'll be effortlessly carried toward our goals. But for most of us, that's just not how it works. Motivation is a fair weather friend. It's there when things are easy, but the moment they get difficult, the moment you need it most, it disappears. Relying on motivation to achieve your goals is like trying to sail a ship with no engine, just waiting for a gust of wind that might never come. This is the great motivation lie, that you have to feel motivated to act. It's this exact belief that keeps you scrolling on your phone instead of going for that run. It's what keeps that business plan collecting dust in a folder, waiting for the right moment. But what if the whole equation is backward? The truth is, action isn't the result of motivation. Motivation is the result of action. It's a byproduct. Consistency is the engine that does the real work, and motivation is the exhaust. Once you get that engine running, it produces motivation naturally. The secret isn't to wait for the feeling. The secret is to create the feeling through disciplined, repeated action, no matter how small. Understanding this is the first real step to flipping that switch. So what is this psychological switch? It's not just one thing, but a powerful mix of 3 proven psychological principles that work together to create an upward spiral of unstoppable drive. Once you get how to use them, you're no longer a victim of your own moods. First up is the principle of behavioral momentum. Think about pushing a giant, heavy flywheel. That first push is incredibly hard. It takes all your strength just to get it to move an inch. You're giving maximum effort for almost zero visible result. This is exactly what starting a new goal feels like. But what happens on the second push? It's a little easier. The third is easier still. Pretty soon, the flywheel is spinning with its own momentum, and all it takes is a gentle tap to keep it going. Your motivation works the exact same way. That first workout, the first page you write, the first healthy meal, those are the hardest. But every action, no matter how small, builds momentum. Psychology shows that our brains are wired to crave progress. Small, repeated actions create a feedback loop of small wins, and each win releases a little bit of dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter of reward and motivation. Your brain starts to connect the action with a positive feeling, which makes you want to do it again. Action creates a small win. That win creates a little motivation, and that motivation makes the next action even easier. Second is the end of decision fatigue. How much mental energy do you burn every single day arguing with yourself? Should I go to the gym now or later? I know I should work on my project, but maybe I'll just watch one more episode. Every single one of these internal debates drains your limited daily supply of willpower. By the time you've finally decided to act, you're often too tired to actually act. Consistency wipes this out. When a behavior becomes a habit, you take the decision out of it. It's no longer a choice you have to make, it's just what you do. You don't debate whether to brush your teeth in the morning, you just do it. Imagine if your most important goals felt that automatic. All that mental energy you were wasting on internal debates is now free to be channeled directly into the action itself. Consistency makes progress the path of least resistance. And third, maybe the most powerful principle of all, is creating an identity-based habit. Best-selling author James Clear talks about this in his book, Atomic Habits. Most people are focused on outcomes. I want to lose 20 pounds. But a much more powerful approach is to focus on your identity. I am a healthy person, or I am a writer. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. When you go for a run, even a short one, you're casting a vote for I am a runner. When you write one paragraph, you're casting a vote for I am a writer. This shift is profound. Your goal is no longer about chasing some distant outcome. It's about reinforcing who you are right now in this moment. This creates intrinsic motivation, the most powerful kind, because your actions are lining up with how you see yourself. You're not just doing a task, you are becoming the person you want to be, one small, consistent action at a time. If you're starting to see how this switch works, and you're ready to build your own momentum, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We put out videos every week to help you build a life you're genuinely proud of. So how do we actually put this into practice tonight, so you wake up with that drive? This isn't about a massive life overhaul. It's about being strategic. Here is your simple 3-step blueprint. Step 1. Define your one thing and make it laughably small. Ask yourself, what is the one thing that if I did it every single day would have the biggest positive impact on my life? Don't overthink it. Now here's the most important part. Shrink it. Shrink that thing down until it's almost impossible not to do it. I'm talking laughably small. Your goal isn't to write a book, it's to write one sentence. Your goal isn't to get fit, it's to put on your workout clothes and do 5 push-ups. Why? Because this isn't about hitting the goal in one day. This is about building the habit of showing up. This tiny action is your first, effortless push on that heavy flywheel. It's so easy that your brain has no reason to fight it. This becomes your non-negotiable. Perfection is not the goal, consistency is. Step 2, create an if-then trigger. Next, we need to take the decision-making out of it completely. We do this with a psychological tool called an implementation intention, or more simply, an if-then plan. The formula is simple. If situation X happens, then I will do my one thing. You're creating a direct link between an existing part of your daily routine and your new, tiny habit. This anchors your new behavior to something that already happens automatically. For example, if I pour my first cup of coffee, then I will open my journal and write one sentence. If I take off my work shoes when I get home, then I will immediately change into my workout clothes. If my head hits the pillow at night, then I will think of one thing I'm grateful for. This plan is your pre-made decision. When the cue happens, you don't think, you don't debate, you don't check how you feel. You just do it. The behavior becomes as automatic as flipping on a light switch when you walk into a dark room. Step 3. Cast your vote and acknowledge the win. This last step is what cements the habit and turns it into real motivation. The moment you finish your laughably small action, I want you to pause for just 3 seconds and consciously acknowledge what you just did. Connect the action back to your identity. Say to yourself, I am a writer, or I am a person who keeps their promises to themselves. You are actively acknowledging the vote you just cast for your new identity. Then, give yourself a small moment of pride. It could be a mental checkmark or a quiet yes. This isn't about ego, it's about reinforcement. You are training your brain by giving it an immediate reward, a feeling of accomplishment, right after the desired behavior. This tiny celebration is what closes the habit loop and makes your brain want to do it again tomorrow. This is how you build real confidence and self-trust. You're proving to yourself, one action at a time, that you are someone who follows through. Imagine waking up tomorrow. There's no internal battle, no debate about whether you feel motivated. Your alarm goes off and your if-then plan just kicks in. You do your one laughably small thing. You cast your vote for the person you want to become, and you feel it, a tiny spark of pride, a small feeling of being in control. That's the switch. The next day, that spark is a little brighter. the action is a little more automatic. Before you know it, you'll have a chain of wins. And the desire to not break that chain becomes a powerful motivator all by itself. That is momentum. That is your motivation, doubled overnight, not by magic, but by a clear, deliberate design. Stop waiting for motivation to find you. The great Jim Rohn said that success isn't something you pursue, it's something you attract by the person you become. Consistency is the main driver that leads a person toward success. So here is my challenge to you. What is the one, non-negotiable, laughably small action you will commit to for the next 7 days? Leave a comment below and make that commitment public. Let's build this momentum together. And if this video helped you flip the switch, hit that like button so it can find its way to others who need it. Now, go cast your first vote.